Hello everyone, welcome back to the MCFC Lads Podcast, and the spirits are not as high as last week, Alex.
No, they're not. We obviously just lost to Al Hilal in the round of 16 of the Club World Cup in extra time, a game that we were expected to win, and we've not won it. And we lost it in very disappointing fashion, I'd say.
Yeah,
going all the way to 120 minutes in a game that you're expected to win. It's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we'll include that. You've probably just heard sort of a bit of chaos. This is actually attempt number 2 of recording the podcast. The mic decided to pack it in. We've got a makeshift setup, and for everyone watching on Spotify or YouTube, rather than listening, currently in Tampa Bay, which is in Florida. It's about 2 hours from Orlando. Since we last spoke to you, obviously been following City. We did go to Miami. There was a chance City were going to play in Miami.
Yeah, it came second in the group.
What was that little place we went to where City was staying as well?
Boca Raton, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Something like that.
Yeah, I went there on the way down.
Yeah, so we went to Miami. That was very, very hot. Then came back to Orlando for the Al Hilal game.
Yeah.
Let's chat through that first.
Far from ideal. I think everyone expected us to win, including ourselves. I think we did predictions in the last podcast, and we both said we'd win. And it started okay. We went 1-0 up. First half, solid. I think everyone from there thinks we get 2, maybe get 3.
Yeah.
And it's just a reasonably comfortable victory. And then start of second half comes and we can see 2 goals in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. We got free beer at the hotel. That was the one advantage of the day. For some strange, a decent hotel. For some strange reason in America, they do these like happy hour free drinks things, and they just wouldn't last in England, would they?
No,
at all?
Not at all.
So we got some free beers. Wandered down to the ground. It was a bit strange because we'd literally been there 4 days earlier for the Juventus game. So the atmosphere was not very good. I'd say it was
a lot emptier than it was the game before. I think it's probably because everyone said they were doing the group games or the knockout or the late knockout games. So people just sort of bypassed this one, assumed would win, but we didn't. So the atmosphere wasn't great. A lot of empty seats. Yeah,
it felt quite flat. I think, like you said, people probably saving themselves for the future games that now don't exist. Orlando was very, very hot. To be fair, even in the evening it was hot, and we thought there was going to be thunder. Well, there was thunder and lightning. We spotted some lightning in the distance. We thought for a period when we were 1-0 up, it was going to be delayed, the game. Yeah. The weather forecast before the game, it looked like it was going to be delayed. But then, we made it to our seats. We were sat behind the goal. Prime Mutton made another appearance. Legendary stuff from him. But, disappointing. Just sloppy goals to concede. Sloppy goals to concede. And we're now eliminated, obviously, from the Club World Cup. We've got 6 weeks until the league season starts. But we are going to continue our journey in America a bit. We're just less restricted. Any places you want to go, mate? Anywhere you're thinking of? We might try and build.
There's a few rumours of Vegas, but we're unsure at the moment as to whether or not that will come through. We've got. Well, we leave the day after the Club World Cup final, obviously with plans, just in case we wanted to make sure we were here for all the games. Yeah. And that means we've got a week in New York at the end, and we've already done a bit of time in New York, so we don't really want to do a whole week there.
It's an expensive place as well. And we'll do a couple of days in New York and then potentially move on from there, I think. But rest of the tournament, who have you got your eyes on to win, is the question?
I think Real Madrid are obvious favourites alongside PSG. I think PSG win it, to be honest. They've got Munich in the next round, but they're just so... I know they lost to Botafogo, but they're just so good, aren't they?
A lot of people were asking about the vlogs, by the way. We've not had any good luck with that at all. Tried to get this strike taken down. It doesn't seem to be working. We've used the FIFA logo, apparently, to make money, which is just not true.
Nonsense.
There's an advertising board at some random point in the vlog where there's a FIFA logo, as you'd expect in a public place. But... there was no vlog for the Juve game, no vlog for the Al Hilal game, so no hate watching available for some fans out there. But it doesn't really matter now. I think that strike will go, and then hopefully for the Premier League we can be back on some of the vlogs. But for now, you've got the podcasts. You've got 6 weeks of no City, and in the transfer window, do you see anything happening? Because I don't.
I think they will be moving in the right back position for us. But I think other than that, we've got nothing to look forward to. And even that is a stretch, because the Livramento rumours, it just seems so sort of difficult to get that transfer done. Especially
when Newcastle got in the Champions League. I don't see that one. I really don't see that one happening. And the thing is as well, we got all the deals done early. We had like that mad exciting few weeks because of the Club World Cup, and now we're out and that's over. Do we even get any more friendlies? is that pre-season done?
There's got to be some sort of pre-season. I think I saw the players have got, I think it's 4 weeks off now.
Yeah.
And so I'd be shocked if they just have 4 weeks off and come back and just straight into Premier League. But
yeah.
I don't think it'll be the usual pre-season tour. It'll be more of a behind closed doors friendlies.
A couple Blackpool friendlies. Yeah, kind of
basic
thing,
ones.
Yeah. So, Alex, in that game, we conceded 4 goals, obviously. There's a lot of hate for Ederson.
It happens like, it's sort of like a cycle with Ederson. It's like everyone will just get on his back after we concede a few goals or he makes a few mistakes and say he's rubbish, he's useless. And then about 2 months later, he'll go and pull out a worldie save or he'll do a crazy assist and everyone will be back on the Ederson hype train. I think we're both big Ederson fans.
We're big Ederson fans. I think the majority of City fans. Yeah. It's just these strange social media fans that probably don't even watch the game, to be honest. They just solely exist. A lot of these people solely exist because they want 2,000 followers on Twitter and they want to think there's something they're not. And it's strange because people will literally just say the most outrageous, disgraceful stuff. They comment on his wife's pictures on Instagram. Like, just grow up. Do you know what I mean? Grow up. But whether you like him or you don't, and like Alex said, we're both big Ederson fans. I don't understand this strange culture nowadays of maybe 1 or 2 things he might have saved or might not have saved and people just slating him. It makes no sense.
And I don't think this is controversial whatsoever, but I think some people probably will take it controversially. The success we've had under Guardiola would not have been possible by
No chance. Yeah, absolutely
he's arguably the most important player in the whole system given. And we saw what it was like when Bravo was in goal. It just doesn't work. Yeah. And you're an absolute mess at the back. So
do you think we'll keep him? Do you think he stays?
I think he will go. I think he probably wants to go. I don't think any of this sort of backlash against him helps at all. Yeah. And to be honest, I'm not against him going. I think he's been a great servant, but if he wants to go, let him go. He also, he does have his mistakes in him, and that's fine. Every keeper has their flaws. But I think he will go. And if he does go, then fair enough to him. What
to do with Ortega then if Ederson does go, is my question for you.
I think Ortega goes regardless. I don't think he's good enough to be a number 1, and I don't think he's going to be accepting number 2 for another year, because he's also too good to be number 2 in my opinion.
Okay, and in terms of the Club World Cup, we've said, you think's going to win, but out of the City players, who do you think has sort of impressed you?
There's a few names, I think. I mean, some of the new signings, Tierney, Reinders, has been excellent.
I think he's been unbelievable, Reinders,
Ryan Cherky. We haven't seen as much of him as I maybe would have liked, but when he has played, been unbelievable. Ike Nouri, I thought was poor against Al Hilal, but I think he had a great few other games.
Yeah, he struggled. He really struggled. And to be honest...
Everyone did.
Sorry, I was a bit tired of getting knocked out of the Club World Cup, to be honest. I think everyone had a poor game, and defensively we were all over the place.
Yeah.
Prime Mutton actually made a great remark at half-time, I think. We kept getting exposed on the counter. Where was Cousinov? We needed that pace electric pace at the back to get back. And Diaz and Akanji were struggling to get back.
They really
and they were making last-ditch tackles. And at that point, I would love to have seen Cousinov come on just to have that pace, like you said, that strength. There was a lot of questionable things in that game, though. You were saying all game you wanted more subs.
Yeah, well, Foden and Cherky both came on extra time, and I was crying out for them in the game. I just thought we were creating a lot of chances, but they were all from set pieces, really, in open play. And then as soon as Foden and Cherky come on, they go and combine for. I mean, what a goal that was from Foden! What a ball from Cherky! But I just felt we were missing players like that maybe were going to create a bit more through the middle. Yeah, I think out wide we were creating a little bit through Doku, but I don't think Savio was maybe that impactful in the game. I mean, he's had a great tournament, so I don't want to slag him off. Yeah. But I thought in that specific game, maybe a sub could have been useful, but. I mean, what can you do?
Yeah, it's strange because I think everyone was under the impression that we'd had a great tournament after the group stage. We're the only team to win all 3 games, have 9 points, with the highest scorers, best goal difference, smashed Juve, who only needed a point to win the group. And then they obviously only narrowly lost to Real Madrid 1-0. Yeah. But yeah, it's been a strange one because we have enjoyed our time in America. It's been interesting. To say the least, especially the games. It's different experience, way different experience to an English game. And it's going to be weird watching an English game when we do watch one event, in 6 weeks. So, it's been mad, but we thought we'd talk about what we've been up to, I guess.
Yeah, so what was it, last week?
So we left, the last podcast would have been Orlando.
Yeah, just after the Juve game, and then we went straight to Miami, as we said earlier.
Yeah.
Mine was good. We did the South Beach, which is obviously one of the main attractions in Miami. What else did we do?
Swimming in there, played some football on the beach.
Yeah.
Wandered about, went for a bit of food. The tipping culture over here is crazy.
I mean, it is. I think a lot of English people are aware of the tipping culture over here, but sort of...
In footballing terms, your striker thinks he can go 10 games without a goal and get a bonus.
A goal bonus.
Crazy.
Still, it's crazy.
I understand. I know this is going a bit off topic, but I understand. In England, you get a nice meal or whatever, you give them a bit of a tip, whatever, they've done a good job. Over here, you can get treated very rudely in certain places. We won't be mentioning any specific chains, but you can get the wrong food, you can get hair in your food, you can get all this, and you can expect a tip.
You can also go to a game and ask for a drink and food which is pre-made. You just pick it up and
give
it
you
says, do you want a 20% tip? And
20% tip, but why? You've already charged me $17 for chicken and chips.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to add $3.40 on top of that.
Exactly, ridiculous.
So, if you're American listening to this, do explain it, because we'd love to know.
Makes no sense.
We'd love to know. But that's just a small thing. Played some footy. They had a little night out as well in Miami.
Oh, we did have a good decent night.
It was all right.
Then
Tampa.
We came to Tampa, and so far in Tampa we've played at football. We got a little 6-a-side game tonight.
Yeah,
which will be good.
Oh, this is gonna. You know what? That will be good. We've got a random team in Tampa. There's this app you can sign on. I'm not going to mention the name. They haven't paid us to sponsor the podcast. You basically just sign up 6-a-side. We've got a game ready to go against just 6 random people in America. That would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be good.
Got to drive out to that. We went to a gun range yesterday.
Oh, we did. That was
cool.
Good fun.
That was cool.
Neither of us ever shot guns before, so
absolutely mental how powerful guns are.
I know, just like the recoil on it all was crazy.
We used a pistol, some other type of pistol, handgun thing,
like an AR.
And an AR thing. Yeah, that was cool. I know guns aren't for everyone, so we won't, go on about that too long. But it was a cool experience, and we're in America, so we thought we'd embrace a bit of the culture. What's to come? Is a question.
What's to come? So we leave Tampa tomorrow. It's the 4th of July. We're even uploading this the 4th of July, the 3rd of July. But obviously the 4th of July is a big deal in America. So we will be going out tomorrow night in Orlando. We're back in Orlando because City were meant to be playing tomorrow if we'd won. Never mind, we didn't. So we'll be enjoying ourselves anyways over there.
It's just a holiday, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. Then the day after we fly to Boston. That was planned anyway. We just sort of wanted to take it off as another place to go while we're over here. We're there for pretty much 2 days, and we're back in New York. And then we're there until the 15th of July, unless we plan this Vegas or... there's a whole host of places we could end up, but sort of in the air at the moment.
We'll see what happens, and we'll see what the funds are saying. Yeah. Any sponsors who want to hit up the podcast, much appreciated. But moving on, Alex, I think you've got a quiz for me.
I have got a quiz for you ready. So the scores will flash up on the screen now.
Yeah.
I think I'm ahead. You're 3 ahead of me, I want to say.
So what I need here is a solid sort of...
It's another 3, to be honest.
3 or 4 I'll be happy with. Anyway, let's get into it.
Right, so this is the quiz. We'll start with number 1. Obviously, the season's done now. Next up will be pre-season. And I want you to name 3 of the 4 teams that City played in pre-season last year.
Oof. Bayern Munich.
We're not.
Chelsea
were.
Oh, no, we're in a bit of bother now.
Right, so you got 2 more. You need them both to be correct.
Yeah. I watched them all, to be fair.
Yeah, it's one of them. They're very forgettable games.
One of them. Oh, I'll go with Monterrey.
No.
Yeah,
so no points to that one. So the answers were Celtic. I think it was a mad 4-3 game or something. AC Milan. I believe Scott Carson may have come on.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Barcelona and Chelsea.
Yeah, that was not a one game. Tough question, that.
Moving on to question 2. Obviously, we've just finished our Club World Cup campaign. And it was our second ever Club World Cup campaign. So I want you to tell me who is City's all-time top scorer in the Club World Cup and how many goals have they
Phil
scored
Foden.
in the Club World Cup? It is. And how many has he scored?
I think we'll be giving me the mark for that. Come on.
I think we're pushing it. But...
So you want a specific amount of goals he scored, and the guy? That's outrageous. Anyway, I'll go with it was Foden. He's got 3 in this Club World Cup.
I did actually have plus and minus 1 goal as well. You can have.
Oh, okay. Plus one. That's fair. Right, I'll go Phil Foden. And I'll go 5 goals.
You'll get the point. It's 4 goals. Phil Foden.
Yeah, that's fair. He's
got 1 point. Next up, we've spoken about Ederson. He is our most capped goalkeeper.
Yeah.
In the Premier League era. How many appearances did he have for City? And I'll give you... I'm going to say 25 either side.
Okay, that's fair.
He joined in 2017-18, so he's been here quite a while. It's all competitions, obviously.
I think he's had 7... Oh, all comps. He's had 7 seasons, and I reckon he's played 40-odd games each season. So I'll go... Oh, has he done a bit more than 40? Ooh. He's had a few injuries. I'll go 293.
372.
Wow,
it's a lot more than you'd realise.
Wow,
I've
done 4. I was thinking 40 a year, which is the majority of the Prem games, and Champions League as well. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, so
should have done 50.
He's done 8 seasons, and
he's at 8 seasons.
So 1 out of 3 so far. This one's a bit easier to be fair. So we've had a few debutants over the Club World Cup. I want you to tell me who's the last City player to score on their debut.
Oof. The last City player to score on their debut, Ryan Cherky.
He didn't score on his debut.
He did? Did he not?
Against Wydad.
Did he not? Did he play? Stinker.
It's gone downhill. This.
Who was it?
The answer was Haaland.
Yeah, fair. Ooh, I don't think he scored against Liverpool in the Community Shield. VAR. VAR went. Ooh, I think that was a debut.
Well, we got the answer wrong anyway. It wasn't Ryan Cherky.
He needs to inform himself, guys.
When was the last time... So, obviously, on the first day of the season, we played Wolves away. When was the last time we kept a clean sheet away at Wolves? Really, the best play here is to just go through the recent games against Wolves away from home. Cheers
for that, mate. I think the last time we kept a clean sheet was in the Paisley kit. And I think it was in 2020.
He's had a bit of a stinker. It was the treble season. We won 3-0 away at Wolves. Haaland bagged, Grealish bagged, and I think Foden bagged.
I tell you what, VAR says those questions were very hard. But
some of them were hard.
Drop in the comments on a scale of 1 to 10 how annoyed I can be with how hard the questions were. But anyway, 1 of 5 sets Alex up very nicely to come back. But it will be question 1: how many hair follicles on Haaland's head? I think. Anyway, that's the quiz done. Stinker week.
Yeah.
But we'll move on now, before we go on to anything else, onto the community questions. Yeah. Alex has got them ready to go.
We're going to start with Paul, and he's asked us who was our favourite pre-takeover player. For this one, are we saying it's players that played before the takeover or players that signed for the takeover?
We'll go for one of each. So I think he said his was Ali Benabia.
Right. Who's your one going to be?
I think I'll go for... Well, I mean, it's hard because pre-takeover, I'll go probably Sean Goa. I think my dad loves him because he just put the ball in with anything. And in terms of a player signed, I'll go Zabaleta.
Yeah, for me, I'll go with King Clancy as my favourite player that played before. Obviously, never wasn't old enough really to see any of the players, but from clips, looked like a great player. And signed before, I'll go with Joe Hart.
Ooh, good show.
My choice.
Really good show.
Moving on, we've got Akshay, and he says, where would you draw the line between glory hunter and proper fan?
Where would we draw the line between glory hunter and proper fan? I don't think it's that difficult. I think the line is very clear. At the end of the day, if you make a commitment to the team, you're getting up at all hours, you're watching them, you're supporting them, you're keeping up to date, you're making every effort in your life that's going to be very different to everyone's life to support the team, and you have a reason to support the team, and you support the team through whatever happens, then I think you're a proper fan. And I think if you're not committed and you're not really supporting the team, and you're in and out, you're watching some games, then we lose and you're not really there, and you're not that bothered when we lose, and you started supporting us 4 years ago, that to me is not a proper fan.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that pretty much.
I don't think that's outrageous to say. Yeah. There's a lot of international fans in particular that people slate, but we've been speaking to people in America, we've been speaking to people all over England from all different places that do everything they can to watch games live, to get up to watch games. They're getting up at 4 a.m. to watch games. The day's ruined when they watch the games and we lose, and that's a proper fan.
Yeah.
And we can't take that away from anyone, but what is frustrating when you get these guys that don't really care, and they'll buy a fake shirt, and they're not that bothered, and
as we were speaking before as well, there's a lot of correlation between those kind of fans and the ones that are commenting on Ederson's wife's Instagram.
It's
always the same
crazy
sort
situation.
of people.
Crazy.
And then we'll move on to the final question. It's about Phil Foden, who we will touch on later because he did bag 100 goals for City in our recent game against Al Hilal. And Angelica asks, how many more trophies will Phil Foden win in his career at City?
Ooh, what a question, Angelica.
So how old is he now? Is he 24, I want to say?
I think he's just turned 25 in May.
Right, okay. So he's got probably at least 7 or 8 years at
City,
top level at City.
Yeah. But how many? Because, so if you'd asked us that question when he first started playing, you'd have never foresaw the amount of trophies we've won.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be the same again, I don't think.
No, it's pretty much impossible that we'll replicate what we've already done. But I don't think it's outrageous to say he probably wins at least 1 trophy season on average. On the basis there'll be a double here and there.
I think he wins 1.5 a season.
Yeah. So that would be...
Not including like Community Shield.
Yeah, that would be about 12 more trophies, wouldn't it?
I can get on board. You're forgetting the World Cup with England next summer, though, mate. I think.
Oh yeah, but I mean that was with City, wasn't it? So
I think he wins. Yeah, I'd say about 12. I can get on board.
Yeah, we'll say 12.
What are we breaking that down into for Angelica? She might be wanting sort of
we'll say
individual trophies.
Really sees at City for 10 more seasons, I reckon.
Yeah,
it would be a good guess.
He's winning
5 Premier Leagues, I'd guess.
5 Premier Leagues.
Half.
You think we're winning half of 10? That's crazy to say. You think we're winning 5 of the next 10 league titles?
Yeah, I think so.
So you think in 10 years we'll be 5 titles off United?
Yeah, I do. What do you think?
Crazy. I don't know if we're winning 5. I think Liverpool have got 2 or 3 in them.
Yeah, Arsenal probably get there eventually.
I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe.
So then in that case, who else wins them? I guess Chelsea
will get 1. Newcastle. I think Newcastle could.
Possible.
I think Newcastle could not easily, but I think it's not outrageous to say Newcastle have 1. Could be an unknown, mate. You don't know who's going to start.
10 years
How bad were Arsenal?
7
or 8 years ago. Do you know what I mean?
It's possible. It's very possible.
So I think we'll get 3 or 4 league titles in 10 years. That'd be good. A good return.
You'd hope there's at least a Champions League in there.
Yeah, and I think
a few FA Cups.
A few FA Cups. Yeah.
Dotted about.
So we'll go 12 or 13 trophies.
Right, so that finishes that off, and on that note, we should probably head over to the speaking about Foden scored 100 goals for City against Al Hilal.
Good way to spin onto that from the question. 100 goals. I was there actually for his first goal
against Oxford. I was not there. I was at the game for his.
See, this is a fake fan.
I actually met him after his first Etihad goal.
Yeah, that is sick.
But I was not there for his first goal. So
and we actually did. Just whilst we're on the topic, we did a bit of a quiz. There was 9 people in the quiz yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I got a bit loud, which is, as I do.
Yeah.
Alex, one of the questions was about Alex, and the question was, who's Alex's favourite City player ever?
Ever. And mine was Bernardo Silva.
And I know it's Alex's answer, I completely disagree. Because the amount of times he said David Silva to me, or Aguero, but there's a story to it.
So, for number 1, I think David Silva is probably the best City player ever.
Is it Bernardo Silva? Outside the quiz, is it Bernardo?
Well, no, so I think it is. My issue is I've never really had someone that I've been like, they're my favourite. I don't have someone that I'm like fanboying over. I've never had that. The reason I went Bernardo Silva is because after the game when Foden scored his first ever Etihad goal, I got to meet all the team afterwards, and one of Pep's backroom staff came up to me and said, who's your favourite player? And I just spurred the moment and said Bernardo Silva, because it was straight after that performance against Liverpool. After the game, he gave me his shirt, he signed it. And so for me, my instinct on that was... I said that when I was sort of under pressure, that's my answer.
Aguero didn't play that day.
He didn't.
And you got a shirt.
But, I mean, David Silva was still in the team when I asked that.
Yeah, true. We'll give it you, Alex. But, I'll let you give your answer.
Yeah, thank you very much. Very kind of you.
If anyone was wondering, mine is definitely Kevin De Bruyne. I'd say Kevin De Bruyne, then Aguero, and then David Silva.
Yeah, 3 very good ones.
What are your top 3?
Bernardo, David Silva, and it's got to be De Bruyne in there.
Okay.
No, I've not got Aguero in there. Yeah, I'm still going to stick with it. Aguero and company just on the outside.
Okay. Right, Alex. Foden, 100 goals.
Yeah.
We've come back to that because we went off on a bit of a tangent. I was there at the first game.
Yeah.
And it's mad for me. I'm just turned 22. How quick that time has gone.
I know, it doesn't feel insane. That long ago.
I was about 15.
His first game. What was his first game? Was Feyenoord?
Yeah. Haaland was at that game. Was that his debut? Unbelievable.
It's just crazy, like foreshadowing that.
Yeah. First goal against Oxford in that purple or the kit with the orange stripe. A bit like this one, actually. To be fair.
Yeah. What's your favourite Foden goal?
Favourite Foden goal?
There's lots to choose from. You've got ones at the Bernabeu. You've got ones against United. You've got ones to win the league on the final day of the season.
My favourite Phil Foden goal is against Manchester United in the game 2023-24, and
I think I'm thinking the same goal.
Rashford scored a screamer, to be fair, and Foden has just cut in, bang, top corner. Yeah. And you know what? He did it again against West Ham, and he did it at the Bernabeu, 3 in a season.
It's his trademark finish, isn't it?
And he almost did it against the Netherlands for England in the Euros semi-final.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. That's my favourite goal.
Yeah, that's trademark. We haven't seen one in a while. We need to see that again. Trademark.
I'm sure we will see it as well.
Cut in, top corner. But yeah, that's my favourite Foden goal. Outside of that, that game against United, treble season.
The hat-trick.
6-3. Any of them goals you can give me. Yeah. Any of them, honestly. That was one of my favourite games ever. I'm just so gutted we only won 6-3. Because
it should have been 7 or 8-1.
It should have been 7 or 8-1.
One of my biggest criticisms of Pep in his time at City is that, and he is right in this, but when we play United, he treats it as any other game. Yeah. And sometimes we should just say, no, we just want to beat them 10-0.
Yeah,
because we would have done it if we'd gone for it. We would have done it.
Liverpool did go for it,
exactly,
and they won 7-0, and we were better than Liverpool that season by a long way.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, favourite Foden goal's got to be that one against United, or the one against West Ham that was very similar. Yeah, because it was just minute 1, we need to win this game, bang.
And it instantly just settled all the nerves.
Yeah. Well, Alex, time to move on to a new segment we've got that I've cooked up, sort of half stolen. Basically, if anyone here, this is a very niche reference, has listened to Carl Pilkington, Ricky Gervais and Steve Merchant about 20 years ago on the radio. All the podcasts are still out there. And Carl Pilkington has a segment basically where it's called Rockbusters. Basically, he gives you a clue. You can judge how good the clues are. And off the back of the clue and the initials, which I'm not going to give you for the City player because it'll be a bit late. I'm going to give you one City player and one, we'll call it rest of world. Yeah. Player, there's going to be a clue, potentially initials, and you've just got to get the player. In the comments as well, you've got to give your answer before, obviously, we reveal who they are. Right, Alex, we'll kick it off with the rest of world first, which you get the initials on so people can kind of get the answer. This one should be very, very easy with the initials. In fact, you'd probably get it just off the initials anyway.
Okay.
So, this is how it works. Here's the clue. So, you're just at the hospital. Yeah. You're having a little look around the books. There's a fella called James there as well. Yeah. He's just having a look around the books in the hospital. Yeah. Do you want the initials?
Yeah.
JWP.
James Ward-Prowse.
But explain. Why is it James Ward-Prowse, Alex? He's in the hospital. He's having a little browse of the ward. James Ward-Prowse. James Ward-Prowse. Right. So that's the standard, guys. And now we'll move on to the City player. Right, this is the City one, Alex. You're not going to get initials because it's a bit easy, but I'll try and make the clues a little bit easier than that one, even though the initials sort of gave it away. So, second one, and I want your answers in the comments before Alex gets it. Let us know if you got it before Alex as well. That builder guy on the TV, he's done some good acting, to be fair.
Is it Oscar Bob?
Yeah! Yes! Come on, that's good. That was good. That was a good one.
We were on the same page.
Are you giving me that one?
Are
you giving me that? You give me that? Yeah, we'll take it. Anyway, before we move on to, we're pretty much finishing now, on that amazing note, let us know in the comments if you got both of those. If you did, that's unreal. We might actually, after we've talked about Oasis, because the tour starts tomorrow, I might drop you one to see if you can get it ahead of next week. How about that?
Yeah, go on then.
Just to kick us off, a little spicy start to the new segment. But Oasis,
they're back. It's obviously announced back in the summer. Yeah. Actually, the tickets came out at West Ham away, and that was like third game of the season or something. Very exciting stuff.
Yeah, I'm off to Heaton Park, to be fair to me. Somehow managed to wangle a ticket when they dropped. Yeah. Very lucky.
I didn't know. I was in the queues. I had to literally leave the queue to go to West Ham. It didn't happen for me, but never mind. I know we've seen Noel a few times at the away games since the announcement.
Yeah,
he loves a good Southern away. To be fair,
he does. To be fair, it should be good. I've seen Liam get a bit mental on Twitter.
Yeah,
and Gene as well, a big MCFC Lads follower. Of course. Shout out to him, Liam's son. But yeah, I'll drop you just before we leave, guys, a third City Busters clue, just for next week to get your heads thinking. Right, so to finish off then, Alex, one more City Busters clue for everyone. You can have a think about it as well. I don't know if you'll get this one. In the comments, make sure you comment who you think it is, and I want some work in as well. I don't want you to just guess. I want you to explain why you think that's the answer. So this could be any player in the world, and here's the clue. So there is basically a kid. He's been sort of left at home alone, and he's running around in the garden. He's just playing a bit of football. He's pulled up. He's sort of a bit injured or whatever. That's your clue. Anyway, guys, on that amazing note, we will see you in the next podcast. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Up the Blues.
Up the Blues.